My girlfriend said, "Monogamy is oppressive. You should be grateful I'm letting you share me." I just nodded. That night, I moved out, took my name off the lease, and mailed the conversation to her pastor father. She showed up at my job the next day, sobbing. Hey viewers, real quick, only 8% of you watching are subscribed, and the channel's kind of stuck right now. If you enjoy these stories, hitting that subscribe button would really help us keep going. Thanks. 3 weeks ago, my girlfriend of 2 years casually announced she was going to start sleeping with other people. Still can't believe how matter-of-factly she delivered the news, like she was telling me she'd changed her hair color or something. Chloe and I had been living together for 8 months. Everything seemed solid between us, or at least I thought it was. We'd moved into a nice 2-bedroom apartment downtown, both our names on the lease, talked about maybe getting engaged next year. Normal relationship progression stuff. Monday evening, October 14th, changed everything in about 10 minutes flat. I got home from work around 6:30 to find Chloe sitting at the kitchen table with her laptop open, surrounded by printouts and notebooks like she was preparing for some kind of presentation. She had this serious, determined look on her face that told me she'd been thinking about something all day. "Hey babe, what's all this?" I asked, grabbing a beer from the fridge. "I've been doing some reading about relationship structures and modern connection philosophy. I need to talk to you about something important." I sat down across from her, figuring she wanted to discuss vacation plans or maybe moving to a bigger place. The kitchen table was covered with articles about polyamory, open relationships, and something called ethical non-monogamy. "Okay, what's on your mind?" Chloe took a deep breath like she was about to deliver a rehearsed speech. "I've been thinking a lot about our relationship and where I am in my personal growth journey. I've realized that monogamy is an outdated, oppressive social construct that limits human potential and authentic connection." I stared at her. "Come again?" Traditional monogamy was created by patriarchal societies to control women's sexuality and treat people like property. It's not natural or healthy for evolved individuals. She was completely serious. No joking, no testing my reaction, just matter-of-fact delivery like she was explaining basic math. "Where is this coming from, Chloe?" "I've been attending this conscious relationship workshop for the past month. It's opened my eyes to how limiting our current arrangement is." "What kind of workshop?" "It's called Authentic Love and Liberation. We explore alternative relationship models and how to break free from societal conditioning about love and partnership." The pieces started clicking together. Chloe had been staying out later recently, claiming she was attending these workshops. Apparently, they had some interesting ideas about relationships. "So what are you saying?" "I'm saying I want us to evolve past traditional monogamy. I want to explore connections with other people while maintaining what we have together." "You want to sleep with other people?" "I want us both to be free to form authentic connections without artificial constraints." "Other people, Chloe? You want to sleep with other people?" She got defensive. "It's not just about sex, it's about personal growth and authentic human connection." "Right, and you've already got someone in mind for this authentic connection?" Her face flushed slightly. "There might be someone I've connected with, yes, but that's not the point." "That's exactly the point. You've already lined someone up and now you're trying to get permission to cheat by calling it personal growth. It's not cheating if we both agree to an open relationship structure." "Except I don't agree to anything. This is the first I'm hearing about your new relationship philosophy. That's why we're having this conversation. I'm giving you the opportunity to grow with me." The way she said, "giving you the opportunity," like she was doing me some kind of favor, was incredible. I'm getting dumped, and I should be grateful for the chance to evolve. What if I don't want an open relationship? Then you're choosing to stay trapped in outdated thinking patterns, or I'm choosing to stay in a committed relationship with someone I love. Love isn't about possession, Jake. Love is about wanting your partner to experience all the joy and connection life has to offer. This was like listening to someone who joined a cult explain why drinking poison was actually enlightenment. Every response was programmed. Every objection had a prepared answer. "Chloe, are you breaking up with me?" No, I'm offering us both the chance to experience a more evolved form of relationship. By sleeping with other people. By removing artificial limitations on human connection. Who is he? What? The guy you've already connected with. Who is he? She hesitated. His name is Marcus. He's one of the workshop facilitators. Workshop facilitator, of course. And you've already decided you want to sleep with Marcus. I've decided I want to explore the connection we have without being limited by conventional relationship boundaries. Have you already slept with him? We've shared some intimate moments. Nothing sexual. I wanted to talk to you before taking things further. So she'd already started an emotional affair, but wanted permission to make it physical. The conscious relationship workshop had apparently taught her that having integrity meant asking for permission after you'd already started crossing lines. Chloe, this is insane. We've been together for 2 years. We lived together. We were talking about getting engaged. And we can still have all of that. But we can also have the freedom to explore other connections. I don't want to explore other connections. I want to be with you. That's your choice, but you should be grateful. I'm willing to share myself with you while also honoring my authentic needs. Grateful? I should be grateful she was letting me share her with the workshop facilitator. You should be grateful I'm letting you share me. Exactly. Most people in my position would just end the relationship and move on. I'm offering you the chance to be part of my journey. That was it. The moment I realized I was dating someone who'd completely lost touch with reality. She genuinely believed she was being generous by offering to cheat on me with permission. I nodded slowly. You know what? You're absolutely right. Really? She looked surprised and relieved. Yeah, you should definitely explore authentic connections without artificial limitations. I'm so glad you understand. I was worried you'd react with jealousy and possessiveness. Not at all. I think you should be completely free to follow your authentic path. This is going to be so good for both of us. I'm sure it will be. We talked for another 20 minutes about ground rules and communication protocols. Chloe had apparently researched this extensively and had a whole framework for how ethical non-monogamy was supposed to work. Regular check-ins, complete honesty, safe sex practices, emotional boundaries. It was like listening to someone explain the rules of a game I had no intention of playing. Around 9 p.m., I told Chloe I needed to go for a drive to process everything we'd discussed. She was thrilled that I was taking time for mindful reflection instead of reacting emotionally. I drove straight to my buddy Connor's place and asked if I could crash on his couch while I figured some things out. Told him the basic situation and he just shook his head. Dude, she's already cheating and trying to get you to say it's okay. Pretty much. What are you gonna do? I'm going to let her explore authentic connections without any artificial limitations. Over the next few days, I quietly started preparing my exit strategy. I'd learned something important about Chloe. When she made up her mind about something, especially something she'd convinced herself was morally superior, she didn't change course easily. This wasn't a phase or a mistake she'd recognize. This was her new identity. I contacted our landlord Thursday morning to ask about the process for removing myself from the lease. He explained I'd need to give 30 days written notice and find someone to take over my portion, or Chloe would need to qualify for the lease on her own income. Thursday evening, I submitted my notice and started the paperwork. Chloe was at another workshop session, probably learning more about authentic connection with Marcus. Over the weekend, while Chloe was at a weekend intensive retreat, I moved most of my belongings to a storage unit Connor helped me rent. Left enough stuff that she wouldn't notice immediately, but got all my important possessions somewhere safe. The hardest part was writing the letter to her father. See, Chloe's dad is Pastor Williams at the big Baptist church across town. Super traditional, family values, community leader type. Chloe had spent our entire relationship complaining about how oppressive and judgmental her religious upbringing was. Apparently she'd forgotten that when she decided to embrace conscious relationship practices and ethical non-monogamy. I wrote a careful letter explaining that Chloe and I were ending our relationship because she decided monogamy wasn't compatible with her personal growth journey. mentioned that she was exploring alternative relationship structures she'd learned about in workshops, and that she'd begun an intimate connection with one of the workshop facilitators named Marcus. I didn't editorialize or add my opinions, just stated the facts about what she'd told me and her new relationship philosophy. Let Pastor Williams draw his own conclusions about his daughter's authentic journey toward non-monogamous enlightenment. I included copies of some of the workshop materials Chloe had left around the apartment. Nothing private, just the promotional flyers and philosophy statements. Figured her dad might want to understand her new framework for personal growth. Mailed the letter on Monday, October 21st, exactly 1 week after our initial conversation. Monday evening my phone started buzzing. Chloe had come home to find some of my stuff missing and was starting to piece things together. "Jake, where are your books? And your gaming setup?" "I moved some stuff. You said you wanted to explore new living arrangements. Thought you might want more space." "What are you talking about?" I said I wanted us to explore relationship structures, not living arrangements. "Same thing, really. Hard to maintain artificial limitations when you're sharing a bedroom." "Jake, this isn't what I meant." "What did you mean?" "I meant we'd both be free to form other connections while living together and maintaining our primary relationship. Right? And I've decided you should have complete freedom to do that. But I don't want you to move out. I want us to navigate this together." "There's nothing to navigate. You've made your choice about what kind of relationship you want." She tried calling 17 more times that night. I turned off my phone after the first few. Tuesday brought more frantic messages, but I was busy apartment hunting. Connor said I could stay as long as needed, but I wanted my own place. Wednesday morning brought the call I'd been expecting. "Jacob, this is Pastor Williams. I received your letter. I need to speak with you." "Good morning, Pastor Williams. How are you?" "I'm concerned. Is what you wrote about Chloe accurate?" "Yes, sir. That's exactly what she told me last Monday. She said monogamy is oppressive." Her exact words were that monogamy is an outdated, oppressive social construct created by patriarchal societies to control women. Long silence on the other end. "And she's involved with another man?" "Someone named Marcus who facilitates the workshops she's been attending. She said they'd shared intimate moments, and she wanted to explore their connection further." "I see. These workshops, do you know what organization runs them?" "Something called Authentic Love and Liberation." I included some of their materials in the envelope. "Yes, I saw those. Very enlightening reading. I thought you should know since she's your daughter and all." "Thank you for informing me, Jacob. I appreciate your honesty during what must be a difficult time. You're handling this with more grace than I might have." Wednesday afternoon, Chloe showed up at my office. I work for a small marketing firm downtown, and our receptionist called to let me know I had a visitor who seemed upset. I went to the lobby to find Chloe looking like she'd been crying for hours. "Jake, we need to talk." "Chloe, I'm at work. This isn't the place." "My father called me this morning. He's not happy about the workshops I've been attending." "I imagine not." "What did you tell him?" "I told him the truth about your new relationship philosophy. You sent him workshop materials. He thinks I've joined some kind of sex cult." "Have you joined some kind of sex cult?" "It's not a sex cult. It's about conscious relationship practices and personal growth." My boss had come out of his office and was hovering nearby, clearly concerned about the disruption. "Chloe, you need to lower your voice. This is my workplace." "Jake, please. I think I may have gotten carried away with some of these ideas. Maybe we can work this out." "Work what out?" "I could stop attending the workshops. We could go to regular couples counseling instead." "What about Marcus?" "What about him? What about your intimate connection and exploring authentic relationships?" Maybe I was being impulsive, or maybe you were being honest about what you wanted for the first time in our relationship. I don't know what I want anymore. That sounds like something you should figure out. But you should figure it out without me being grateful to share you while you decide. My boss approached us. "Is everything okay here?" "Everything's fine," I said. Chloe was just leaving. She looked between us, realizing she'd created a scene at my job. "Jake, can we please talk tonight? Somewhere private." "I don't think that's a good idea." Please, just give me a chance to explain. You already explained, very thoroughly, with research materials and everything. She stood there for another moment, before finally leaving. I spent the rest of the afternoon answering my boss's careful questions about whether I needed time off to deal with personal issues. Over the next few days, the reality of consequences started hitting Chloe hard. Pastor Williams had apparently had some strong words about his daughter's new lifestyle choices. Her family was pressuring her to come home and reconsider her recent decisions. Friday, October 25th, Connor showed me the Facebook posts. Chloe had been sharing articles about how some people can't handle their partner's personal growth, and how toxic masculinity manifests as controlling behavior when women assert sexual autonomy. The posts got increasingly desperate over the weekend, with vague references to people who claim to love you but abandon you when you need support most. Monday morning, October 28th, Pastor Williams called again. Jacob, I wanted to update you on the situation. How is Chloe doing? She's coming home this week. She's decided to step back from these workshops and take some time to reconsider her recent choices. That's probably wise. She's also asked me to reach out to you. She wants to apologize for how she handled things. I appreciate that, but there's nothing to apologize for. She was honest about what she wanted. And what did she want? Freedom to explore connections with other people, while keeping me as a backup option in case the exploration didn't work out. I see. And you weren't interested in that arrangement? No, sir. I believe relationships work best when both people are committed to each other exclusively. As do I. You're a good man, Jacob. I'm sorry my daughter put you through this. She's young and was exploring new ideas. Sometimes that's how people figure out what they really value. Tuesday evening, Chloe called me directly for the first time in over a week. Jake, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Okay. I think I got caught up in some ideas that weren't really me. The workshop facilitator, Marcus, he was very persuasive about these relationship concepts. Persuasive how? He made it seem like monogamy was this oppressive thing holding me back from personal growth. But now I'm wondering if he was just trying to manipulate me into a situation that benefited him. What makes you think that? When things got complicated with my family and you moved out, he suddenly became a lot less interested in exploring our connection. So now that there are real-world consequences, conscious relationship practices don't seem as appealing? I know how that sounds, but yes, basically. Chloe, do you hear yourself right now? What do you mean? You're telling me you abandoned our relationship for someone who lost interest the moment your situation became inconvenient. And now you want to come back because your backup plan didn't work out. That's not. I mean, yes, but what? But I realized I made a huge mistake. I love you, Jake. I want to be with you. You loved me 3 weeks ago too. That didn't stop you from deciding I should be grateful to share you. I was confused. Those workshops, they make everything sound so logical and enlightened, but in practice, it's just chaos and people getting hurt. So you're saying you want exclusive commitment now? Yes, absolutely. No more workshops, no more exploring alternative relationships, just us. Until the next time someone convinces you that commitment is oppressive, that won't happen again. How do I know that? Long silence. I guess you don't. I guess I have to prove it. Chloe, the issue isn't that you explored other ideas about relationships. The issue is that you were ready to throw away 2 years together based on 3 weeks of workshops with someone you barely knew. I know that now. And the issue is that you genuinely believed I should be grateful for the privilege of sharing you with other people. I was being selfish and calling it personal growth. Right, and now that being selfish has consequences, you want to go back to the security you gave up. Jake, please. I know I don't deserve another chance, but I'm asking for one anyway. What happened to Marcus? What? Your workshop facilitator. What happened to him? When my dad found out about the workshops and you moved out, Marcus said the situation had become too complicated. He said he couldn't be responsible for breaking up families and causing drama. So he dumped you when your authentic connection became inconvenient. Yes. And now you want to come back to the guy who you said was trapped in outdated thinking patterns. I was wrong about everything, Jake. about the workshops, about Marcus, about what I wanted. You were honest about what you wanted. That was actually the most valuable thing about this whole situation. I didn't want what I said I wanted. You wanted the excitement of something new while keeping the security of what you already had. When you couldn't have both, you chose the excitement. Now that the excitement is gone, you want the security back. Maybe that's true, but doesn't that tell you something about what I actually value? It tells me you value whatever feels good in the moment. That's not fair. It's exactly fair. She cried for a while on the phone. I felt bad for her, but I also knew that feeling bad wasn't the same as wanting to rebuild something she'd been willing to throw away so casually. Jake, what would it take for you to give us another chance? I honestly don't know if there's anything, Chloe. You didn't just want to break up with me. You wanted me to be grateful that you were keeping me around while you explored other options. That shows a level of disrespect that I don't know how to get past. I understand that now. I understand how awful that was. Do you? Or do you understand that it had consequences you didn't want to deal with? She couldn't answer that. We talked for another 20 minutes, but it kept coming back to the same thing. She wanted to undo a choice that hadn't worked out the way she'd expected. I wanted to be with someone who wouldn't make that choice in the first place. That was last week. She's been staying with her parents and apparently going to counseling with the church pastor. Her friends have been reaching out asking if I'll give her another chance, but my position hasn't changed. She wanted to explore authentic connections without artificial limitations. She got to do exactly that. And learn something about what happens when the person providing your emotional and financial security isn't willing to share you with workshop facilitators. I'm in my own apartment now, downtown, but in a different area. Starting fresh felt important. The whole experience taught me something valuable about compatibility and values. Someone who's willing to throw away years of commitment based on a few weeks of workshops isn't someone I can build a future with, regardless of how much they regret it afterward. Chloe can find someone who appreciates being part of her journey toward authentic connection. That someone just isn't going to be me.